A young reform councillor says public buildings should fly public flags. You know, things like the Union Jack, the St. George's Cross, and local county flags. A fairly straightforward position, you'd think. Well, not according to one panellist, who seemed so horrified by the idea that you'd think he'd personally replaced every flagpole in Britain with a giant pigeon perch. The councillor argued that public buildings should represent everyone. His opponent argued that removing one flag means you're somehow trying to erase history itself. As a pigeon, I'm no expert on flag policy. I usually judge buildings by the quality of their ledges. But even I was struggling to keep up with some of the logic in this debate. Let's have a watch and see who made the better case. But first, don't forget to like, subscribe, and throw a few crumbs in the direction of the algorithm.
But some of the things you've done while you've been council leader. Your first decision, I think, was to take down an LGBT pride flag, and you say from now on we only use British flags. Did you get support for that?
Yes, we got support for that, and that's what happened as a result of that. Yes, there were some people that didn't like that fact, but it's pretty simple. The only flags that should be raised on public buildings and state buildings is the county flag, the St. George's flag and the Union flag. But
what about showing support? For example, you know, when France had a terrorist attack, we put the French flag above the Wembley Stadium.
Look,
you don't like that?
I ain't got a problem with those things. You're standing in solidarity with those with things when those incidents happen straight away. I ain't got a problem with that. And look, at the end of the day, it wasn't just about a flag or a bit of fabric. It was more about where does the power delegate to and who is in charge of that. And that's been sorted now, and that was a year ago. But yeah, look, if incidents happens, we'll look at that on a basis.
Marina, what do you think of that decision?
Why? So I just think it's weird that you got to this position. You can do so much good for the people, and that's what you chose to focus on.
Oh no, we've done a lot more than that. That's just one little thing.
But why? Say, for example, the LGBT flag, the rainbow flag. Why does it offend you so much you have to remove it?
Let's be actually correct here. It wasn't the pride flag. It was the Progress pride flag. It didn't have planning permission on the building anyway. That was the first problem, which many people don't know about. But it didn't have planning permission.
Well,
so it shouldn't have
been
been
an excuse a little bit.
No. It's not just that. But the main problem was that on a government building, we want to represent 630,000 people that are in Warwickshire, and everyone can be represented by those three flags, the St. George's, the Union and the county.
The reason it feels disingenuous is because your track record, you're a person who wants to cancel Black History Month.
I think that it shouldn't be promoted or supported by the council and local taxpayers. No, you should be supporting history no matter what.
But
you should be supporting history no matter what.
Hang on,
it doesn't matter. You don't get certain history months for everyone else.
What I'm getting now is that you want to essentially choose the bits of history that are taught, which is that Britain is great and empire is great, and actually not teach the bits of history that you don't like, Black History Month, and also the communities that aren't, I don't know, core to you, important to you, gay pride, whatever. All of those things, scrap. Only talk about the stuff that is interesting to me and my values.
Let me ask you an important question.
That's enough pigeon propaganda for today. If you enjoyed having your brain lightly pecked by facts and opinions, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more from Pigeon Politics.